So we've had the first Halo Infinite multiplayer event for the past couple days now, Fracture Tenrai, and now that we've had it for a couple days, I wanted to talk a little bit about the event and the event pass specifically, kind of a little bit of a tangent in this video. In my last video where I talked about basically everything that has to do with the event, one thing that I ended up missing and I left as a pinned comment was the fact that you cannot finish all of the tiers of this event pass in the first week. Now, I know in one sense you're saying, okay, but you know, it's a free event. Yes, sure, maybe, but I personally have always hated whenever there's a progression lock, right? Other games have been doing that lately too with their, XP progression systems in the past couple of years where you can only progress to a certain amount until the following season. I don't like when there's that kind of lock because the way I look at it, right? Let's say, life comes in waves, right? Let's say you have a lot of time to play right now. And then maybe, down the line when the event comes back or whatever, you don't have as much time to play. You know what I mean? Like, things happen, right? We get busy, we get less busy, we get more busy. Like, it goes up and down. Life is just life. So the way I look at it is, for example, let's take this event, right? We have this event that is going to be taking place at least the dates confirmed are 2 more times. We have 3 weeks confirmed, but according to Noah Benesch, if I'm pronouncing his name right, I'm probably butchering it. He is the marketing lead for Halo on PC. He's talked a little bit about it in response to some people the other day, and that's what I left as a pinned comment on the other video. So what he basically was saying is that this event is going to be coming back 5 more times. So someone was asking him, basically you can't finish it in 1 weekly rotation. And he says, correct, you will not be able to finish all 30 tiers of the event pass in week 1. However, Fracture Tenrai will return 5 more times throughout the season. Also, while you can use challenge swaps for event challenges, players can't purchase tier skips for event pass. So that's also worth noting as well. Now, we have 3 dates officially out, right? We know that we have this week, November 23rd to 29th. We know that we're going to have week 2, January 4th to January 10th, and February 1st to February 7th. Apparently there's going to be 5 more times after week 1, so that's going to total obviously 6 weeks in its entirety. Now, what's frustrating is, let's say right now in November, I have a lot of time to play, right? Hypothetically speaking, I don't, but let's say I did. Then at that point, it's like, if I can progress to tier 30, great. And maybe when January comes around, January 4th, the next time that we have a confirmed date for this event, maybe that week I'm busy. Maybe that week is a really hectic week. And then maybe February ends up being also a hectic week. You know what I mean? It comes in waves. Or maybe, the good thing is, like, maybe I can't really do much right now, but then week 2, maybe I can. But then at that point, if I didn't really progress that many tiers in week 1, well, then I'm behind and I may not get to that tier 30, unless I grind almost every single week. So it's almost in a way set up to make you grind every week to, for at least a few tiers. But what if people don't have time to do that? And I think that's very problematic in and of itself for that reason, is because it's locking you. I don't like when games lock your progression. People play at different paces, right? Some people, they have a lot of time on their hands. In general, some people only get, so much time, here and there. You're very, very limited. Sometimes life events come up, right? And so when you do this kind of system, it's just not, I don't know, it's not good. I don't like, again, when you set up this kind of barrier. And I think that's an issue. I think that's a serious issue. So again, it's great that we have 30 tiers. That's great. I love it. Sweet. Awesome. And they're all free. That's great. Right. So, some people would say, well, again, it's free, man. So, it's not like you paid for it. Okay. Yes. Given, sure. But again, if you're locking these kind of events like that, where you can only earn so many tiers, and, again, what's the difference if someone grinds 20 hours in week 1 and gets to tier 30, or if they grind, 2 hours or 3 hours in week 1 and another few hours in week 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And it's more spread out. What's the difference? Either way, they're playing the same amount of time. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because it's still taking the same amount of time to unlock it. This way, though, you're only preventing them from unlocking it sooner, and you're also preventing players that maybe don't have time to jump in the first couple of weeks. You're preventing them from being able to rank up. Now, maybe they're going to have more challenges, towards the ending weeks to make sure people have, help to actually finish the event pass. Maybe that's going to be the case. But first of all, we don't know that. And even if they did that, it still sucks for players that, like, again, if you have a lot of time right now, maybe you don't have time to play the following weeks. Maybe like life happens and you just don't have time to play any of the other weeks, and you only have time this week or the next week that they're going to have in January or whatever else, right? And at that point, again, it's frustrating because those players may not be able to finish off the tiers. Again, there's only 30, thankfully. It's not like there's 100. That'd be even more problematic. But then when you kind of couple that with the whole battle pass system that, they have right now, it's a little frustrating. Now, the good thing about the battle pass system, obviously, is that they are acknowledging it's an issue. At least they're acknowledging that is an issue, and they're working on, creating a better system. Right now, they've already, given us better challenges. I've been ranking up a little bit faster. The challenges are worth a little bit more XP, I think, as well. It's just a little bit more I guess feasible, for lack of a better word, right? And so they're working on that. We have an acknowledgement of that. It's still not great. It's better than it was at launch. It's still not great, but at least we know, okay, they're working on a Spartan player progression, all this good stuff. The event, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't heard anything else except what this tweet says, and this tweet was just like 3 days ago by Noah on November 22nd, saying that you will not be able to finish all 30 tiers in the event pass in week 1. Again, I get the idea, probably from the developer side of things, is to get players to keep coming back, right? They want players to come back consistently, right? They want players to come back to the game, day after day, week after week, month after month. I get that, but at the same time, just allow players to work at their own pace. You know what I mean? Allow them to kind of grind at their own pace. And it's not the same as, like, for example, like a game like Destiny, right, where we have certain things that are maybe story based, in a season that trickle out week by week. That's a little bit different somewhat. It's not like it's a campaign per se, right? I mean, if you're familiar with Destiny, you know what I mean. Even then, some people have complained about that kind of system as well. But even in that, having an exotic in Destiny where you cannot obtain until a certain week. But if you look at a battle pass, for example, right? A battle pass, you can fly through it at whatever pace, which I guess the event pass is not the same as battle pass. You're not paying for it. Again, it is free. It's a little bit different, but it's still kind of like, all right, well, why do that? Again, why do that? I don't know. This is where a lot of conflictions kind of come in, right? Because I've said this before. I really love the gameplay itself. The game is really, really fun, but there's a lot of things where it leaves me scratching my head, where it's like, okay, I get there's certain things they didn't have time to implement at launch, like Forge. I get that entirely. There's other things that I just scratch my head wondering, why didn't they work on something previously? Like, what was their train of thought into even implementing these systems to begin with? Why was this even, like, why wasn't a Spartan progression rank worked on sooner? Were they just really, really busy with trying to finish everything else, making sure everything else is smooth? Okay, fine, given. But the challenge system, right? It seems so, and a lot of people have mentioned this, it seems so easy to, earn a little bit of XP even towards your battle pass during, what you do in game, right? Like if I get an assist in game, that's 50 points. If I get a kill, it's like 100 or 150 or whatever it is, right? So why doesn't that translate to XP? Then the better you play, the faster you rank up your battle pass. So then players that play better, not only are they rewarded for playing better, but they are also encouraged to play better. A lot of people have said on some of the comments in my videos and on Twitter and on all these places, they've said, okay, hey, I don't have any reason to want to play good unless you're playing in ranked, obviously. But besides that, I have no reason to want to play good. If I play at the bottom of my team, I'm doing just the same. I mean, if you have a challenge that's basically just play capture the flag, well, then you just play capture the flag. You don't even have to do anything, right? You don't have to capture the flag. You don't have to play well. And even that, if the challenge was to capture a flag, okay, that's fine, I guess. But the point being is, like, reward players for playing well, reward players with XP for playing the objective. These are things that I feel like, okay, with the challenge-based system, they've implemented quickly, but they could also just instantly translate those points into XP. They could do that. That's another short-term solution to help people rank up their battle pass faster. I think the problem is they maybe don't want people to rank up faster, which again, it translates to this whole issue with the event pass, where, you know, the event pass, you can only go through at a very, very specific, you know, rate, right? You can't do all 30 tiers in week one, like we mentioned. So I don't know. It's very strange to me. Like I said, I understand that there's certain things that take time, you know, that maybe they didn't have time for launch. They were very pressed to try to make sure the core of all this was fundamentally good. But again, like, I feel like, you know, why go down this route to begin with? I mean, if they would have had from the very beginning a plan to implement a better XP system, a better progression system, both for the battle pass and for like a Spartan progression, then that could have been something that maybe would have been, attainable for launch. But they went this route, and again, it leaves me scratching my head. I just don't understand it. I'm very confused. I'm not trying to, you know, talk down on the game, you know, as a whole. I'm giving constructive criticism where it's, you know, needed, basically, right? Because like I said, I enjoy the game. And I want to see it get better. I think a lot of us who are giving constructive criticism, we're doing so constructively. That's the key word, by the way, right? Don't just say, oh, this game sucks, bro. That doesn't do anything. You know, explain why you don't like it, what you don't like, you know, etc., so it can get better. I think a lot of us that don't like it, don't like certain things, and are giving constructive criticism, it's because we do like the game, we love the game, and we want to see it get better, and it will get better. But again, I just question some of these choices. You know, like, why were these choices made in the first place is what I'm asking, right? That's the big question here. Why? I just don't get it. So anyways, that's kind of a little rant I wanted to bring you guys for today. When I heard that you can't actually go through the first 30 tiers in week one, I was a little bit confused. I've only gotten through the first 3 tiers, and I haven't seen any other challenges. Maybe I just have to rotate some of my challenges, but I haven't seen any other event challenges yet. So I don't know. Let me know what tier you guys are sitting at, because I know some people said they were sitting at like 6, 7-ish. So let me know how far you guys have gotten. And if you've enjoyed this video, if you agree, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. You know, what are your thoughts on all this? Again, if you liked the video, leave it a like so more people can see it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. Let me know why, so I can better the content in the future, and subscribe for more gaming and Halo content. I'll see you guys very soon in another one. Check out all the socials as well down in the description below. And until the next one, game on. Thanks for watching.